Hello, everybody. Part two and the final day of the tours. Very happy how the last one went. So, yeah, what you are looking at are three images from the watch parties for Artemis. One of them is a general overview, the other, with about 32 people in it, is the group photo at the end of the second watch party, which was the trip around the moon. And the one with a full instance of 80 people, although I will note, Mr. Dummy NL did unfortunately have a connection issue right as the images were being taken. So he's not in the photos in the end, but he did try to be in the photos until that issue. So yeah, obviously that full 80-person instance was the landing. So yeah, congrats to everybody involved in this, whether it's just you took part in the watch party or you actually worked on this or you even one of the astronauts. And that banner down there in the final picture, very nice touch from the VSP people. Even though this event was not affiliated with VSP in any way, they made the banner for this event. So thank you again to them. With all that said, it is now time for business. Let's do the next tour. Your check. Yeah, they're good. This is not well. All right. Well, listen, Kimika, cheer up. The tour is gonna be great. I can already tell what you're thinking.
How can you?
He always worries about this stuff. I'm like, even if he doesn't get the attendance he's looking for, the tours go fine, no problem. All right. Listen, you're gonna do great. The tour's gonna be wonderful. Everyone's gonna love it.
Well, this might be the last time in a while that I try scheduling an event at this time of day. How long should we wait before going? Huh.
How long do you usually wait for these?
Depends. I wait until it seems like people stop filing in, usually. Unless there are a bunch of other people
He sounds
interested
really
in joining the
down.
event, in which
All I
case
can do
I
is try
will
to cheer him
usually
up.
go as soon as it seems like they're getting impatient. Hello. Welcome to the thing. Have you seen this world before? Okay. Well, it's great. I hope you'll enjoy. Um, yeah, not sure how much longer we should wait before people file in here, but oh, this board shows some of the people that worked on this world. It was like a 2 year long development effort, so these are the people who were on it for the whole time. Unfortunately, I arrived a bit too late for that, but yes. Um, oh, okay. Okay, I mean, we can probably wait for time.
And he sounds so. Come on, Kimika-san, cheer up. It's gonna be a great tour.
Mm, good enough. Uh,
Yeah, hopefully you're all doing well.
okay, whenever Salia gets back, I'll just go. Uh, hmm? What? So, um, well, let's just move into the lobby now.
Again, view of the building from the outside. You're a museum of space. Well, we may not have the turnout that Kimika's hoping for, but at the very least, he can run the tour. He's run tours for like just two people before, one or two people before. So yeah, I mean, he's used to this situation. So I think he'll still do a good job.
Okay, well, I guess whoever is going to show up later will show up later, so, obligatory things to say. If you need to change the language settings, you can change them here with these flag icons. Um, French, German, and Spanish translations may or may not be coming eventually, if those are of any use. Um, if you get lost, go to this thing, click the green join tab on the left, and then click my name. There's one of these at the start of every room, so if you see one there and you're lost, you can just use that instead. Yes. This tour is not officially affiliated with Virtual Space Program or the group of VSP members who developed this world in any official capacity. I happen to be somebody who did a bunch of work on the English translations in this world, but yes, no official affiliation. Um, yes. If you look here, you can see some pins that have been knocked over by the pendulum. So you will see more pins get knocked over when we're done, I assume. For those of you who haven't seen it before, I hope that now you recognize this here icon. I was the this is a Japanese VR community that does a lot of awesome space related stuff. Please give them your support. I can't say that enough. um, if you want to join their group, let me put it something. Want to join their group? Here it is. Um, yes. Also, I was their head event organizer for English events at VCAT 2025 Winter, so this here avatar is not just for show, in case you happen to recognize it as a VCAT shot avatar. Okay. Also, pay attention to the music, it's good here. Okay. So yesterday we covered rooms 1 through 3, so now we're going to go straight to room 4.
Yep, part two. We went through the first three rooms twice yesterday. Maybe you should have waited a few minutes more because people are now coming in.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
And somebody just came in, yes.
I'll get them.
Okay, okay.
Another person came in, so I got All right. If everyone would just follow me, and I wonder where Shinsho Shi went. Cause here to the museum entrance. Follow me, please.
Might not be as lucrative as it was not that long ago. Hello. Okay.
Oh well, there's something I need to tell you about the issues you were having yesterday. Try in
So,
under graphics. Try switching the camera from like off to dynamic.
or wait, or just if you find the forced camera near distance or something, set that to off, and it should be fine.
All right.
Or that should fix the issue you noticed yesterday. Okay. Hello, hello.
See, told you
All
people
right.
would come.
Okay. Okay, Termina. So,
That's why you gotta be positive about this stuff.
okay. So as you can see, these are computers. They're like think of all the gaming you can do with them. You can
You
even
know
make
it's a
VR
different time when
simulations
Termina's
with
the
them.
voice of reason and positivity.
Maybe, who knows? But in all seriousness, it's like if you're going to do astronomy, you need computers to process your data. And apparently, it's pretty cost effective to just string together a bunch of hardware like this instead of making a ton of super custom built hardware for these things. So, yeah. Well, I mean, the sign outside says that
What's
these ones here are some specialized hardware, but this one, this is literally just like off-the-shelf gaming PC type hardware or office PC type hardware.
but what kind of calculations are you making usually?
I don't, I don't know physics. I'm not much of an astronomy expert, so I can't comment too far on the details. But it's
Okay.
like things generate data, and you need to do a bunch of math to make sense of that data. Yeah.
Data.
Yes. Okay. Well, and then out here, there are some posters. This all it's sort of meant to look like the inside of an actual research facility where you would have like, I don't know, posters about various projects. You would have mundane things like this here umbrella rack. Um,
I've noticed it's called grape. Num num num.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is what it's called. Don't eat it. It's not good for you, especially if it uses lead-based solder.
Delicious.
Okay. So then, here are some photos of the. Here are some photos taken by the Hubble Space Telescope. They look very pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So something you might want to know about the Hubble Space Telescope is that it's apparently not that different from a KH-11 spy satellite. So look, we have a spy satellite here. Yay! Look, it's a spy
Look at
satellite.
all those. Very nice. Is that dude actually walking everywhere instead of using the control stick?
Yeah. So
Wow.
some funny things happened because if I'm not mistaken, they designed the Hubble Space Telescope to be this size because infrastructure for making mirrors of exactly that size for telescopes already existed for spy satellites. And so, like, they have this 2.4-meter primary mirror, and then a funny thing that happened with the Hubble program, with the Hubble Space Telescope, they make the mirror. They make a new instrument, which is supposedly better than the old instrument, for detecting errors in the mirror's fabrication, because, like, the tolerances for errors in the mirror geometry are extremely low because of, like, how precise the mirror needs to be in order to get good images, and like good images of its observation targets. And so they built this new instrument. The new instrument says the mirror is fine, but then they run it on the old instrument for checking the mirror geometry, and the old instrument says something is wrong. They decide that the new instrument is correct and the old instrument is wrong, and then they launch it and they try to look at stuff and they find out that the new instrument was wrong. And so they had to do a servicing mission where a space shuttle went up with a whole crew and a bunch of stuff, and they had to install corrective optics on the telescope in order to make the images not horribly blurry, because they were quite blurry. And fortunately, that all worked. this thing is still operational now. It's had a few more servicing missions where like a space shuttle went up and replaced broken hardware on it, added new detectors, things like that. Actually, I have a piece of material from a space shuttle mission which like one of those which did one of those servicing operations. Which, yay. Some of you might as well. But yeah, this thing's still operational. Unclear how much longer it's going to last because its orbit is going to need to be reboosted at some point if it's going to stay operational. It's having like it seems like its attitude control systems, especially the reaction wheels, have been degrading over time, and there isn't really any great way to replace those parts now that the space shuttle is not available to do those missions. Maybe the SpaceX Starship could do it, but unclear whether that will happen. Yep. Oh, another cool thing. If you look at this background here, this background changes depending on what the selected telescope would see. So if I select this one,
It's
will now
it's
show
adorable
high-speed
selecting.
X-rays. And this is a Japanese X-ray satellite called X-Rism. Or I don't know if I'm saying that right. Now, if you look at how this is constructed, because you can see a cutaway here. So, a few things. One, there are no like lenses or like mirrors in the sense that you see them on optical telescopes like Hubble, because with X-rays, you can't reflect them off a surface at a sharp angle very easily. They'll just get like absorbed. But if you like reflect them at a shallow angle, then their scattering angles are predictable, and so you can use like shallow angle mirror reflections to focus them towards a detector. And then there's like, I believe that could be what's modeled in here. And then if you look at the back end, I think this is some sort of like liquid helium cooled detector or something. There's a lot of layers of insulation and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Okay. Here's the James Webb Telescope. Look at the thing. It has an animation for the stuff deploying. So yes, this one is deployed much further away from Earth. It's at the Earth-Moon Lagrange point 2, which and it's much more extensively shielded from like radiation emitted from the sun or from the Earth by all of those things, plus this huge sun shield on the bottom. So the top of the instrumentation on the telescope is cooled down to pretty low temperatures in order to prevent any like heat and the resulting infrared emissions from interfering with detecting signals from space. And so there's that. And it has this folding mirror thing, mostly because they wanted to fit more mirror in the space that would be allowed by existing launch vehicles. And it was launched on Ariane 5, which has a diameter of I think 5 to 5.5 meters. And this is a like a 7 meter antenna. I think.
Subaru.
So
I'm sorry.
that's what motivates that whole folding system. It's pretty fun, although it is probably quite impractical for other purposes. Quite impractical, difficult engineering. And let's take a group photo under the Hubble Space Telescope. Group photos are important. Big Hubble is watching you. Big Hubble is watching you.
He's big.
Yeah, watching you do what?
I'm watching you attend my VR chat tour.
That's one thing, yeah.
Wait. Wait.
Okay. Ready?
No.
All right, we all here? This is probably going to be the thumbnail. This picture's probably going to be the thumbnail for the YouTube video.
Okay.
I feel bad because there's two robots, but it is what it is. Everyone's running a lot of safety things now.
So then.
The recent events.
Well, this here thing is a ground-based telescope. I am pretty sure this is also actual size. And it's from the, this one is from the Atacama Large Millimeter Array and Millimeter Array. This antenna was made in Japan as part of that project. For those of you who were at my Nobayama Radio Observatory World Tour or otherwise saw that world, this antenna should look somewhat familiar to you. Also, if does this look somewhat amusing? Look, I am observing the radio signals. Yay! Oh well. VSP VKetchun telescope. Also, yeah, if you wanna come back here and have a closer look, you can walk on all of this. You can even see like random like stairs and stuff modeled. Yes, eat the signals. They taste pretty good. Okay. Here is another telescope. That is, yes. This one does, I think, optical and infrared observations, and this is the like optical detector that's on this here telescope. Here are some old telescopes which are here for historical context purposes. I hear that Galileo, or one of his associates, or was it Copernicus, used this telescope or something similar to observe the boats that were coming in to ports and use them to manipulate the market or buy or sell things at favorable prices. So
Interesting.
they understood the value of having prior knowledge of what was about to become available. Or when things were going to become available. Okay.
Oh.
What is it? Oh. There are some mirrors here. You can see that they reflect the stuff on the back wall there, although they will not reflect your avatar. There's an interesting effect on this particular mirror.
Beautiful.
Something reminiscent of the spherical aberration of the actual Hubble mirror being represented here. But the person who made these things is he makes a lot of really cool stuff. He makes a lot of cool stuff. So yeah. Big mirrors, bigger mirrors, lots of big mirrors. This here is how the geometry of some basic telescopes works. And on the back wall over there, you can see some images from the James Webb Telescope. That's the one with the like hexagonal mirrors that all fold out in space. So you can see the Hubble photos on top and the James Webb photos on the bottom. And the James Webb photos are they're far more detailed, as you might notice. And then over here, there's these photos of a region that's like very, very far off in space. again photographed by both Hubble and Webb, and you can see the James Webb photo is enormously more detailed. Like it can just get a lot more signal with its larger detector, more advanced sensors, those things. So there's that. As you can see, I don't quite have as much to say about the stuff in these rooms as I do in the second and third rooms, but yes. Okay, does anyone have questions before we move to the next one? Okay. Alright. In here. As you can see, if you jump here, you get the you can jump as if you're on each of these planets. So this look, you can even touch grass here. You don't have to go outside. Touch this
My
grass.
favorite part.
Nice.
No.
There's grass.
Grass.
There's even more grass that you can access if you go next to the gift shop entrance. But yes. Okay.
Mars.
As you can
Whoa.
see, to Jupiter, no jumping allowed. No jumping allowed.
Damn.
Ah.
Oh, I hear the equations.
You can come here and
Oh.
yes. No jumping allowed. As you see.
Wow, Vika-chan, you really need to lose some weight if you can't jump.
Oh, okay. Now here you go. Is this better?
Oh, hell yeah, it is.
I have not
Do it again.
lost mass, but I have lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I moved.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This distance from the Earth to the moon is the distance from the Earth to the moon here is also to scale.
Time.
One light second.
Whee!
But yes, something like that.
Let's go to Uranus.
Man, if only we could, then this entire Artemis flight would be done in very quickly.
Unfortunately for this Artemis flight, the 1.3 light second signal delay was the least of their communications worries when Outlook wasn't working.
Hey, where's Pluto? Oh, no. There's no Pluto. Come on.
You need one.
No Pluto, I
send
guess.
your signal to the spacecraft, and you need infinitely many seconds to get to Microsoft tech support and get them to fix your problem. Okay, so what are fun things I should say about these planets? So, Mercury. Mercury is very hot on the side facing the sun, and very cold on the side that's not facing the sun.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe you could place some sort of settlement that continuously moves, so that it's right in the area where it's like right at the boundary between the day and night sides.
So that's why it's
Venus
hard
on the
to
I
look
mean, there are
what's happening. Or
there are worse problems with Venus, namely because it's so close to the sun. Like any spacecraft that tries to go down there needs to change its velocity by a lot in order to capture an orbit around the moon. So it's around Mercury. Like I think only one or two spacecraft have actually orbited Mercury. And so it's like our knowledge of what's on there is rather limited in some regards because of limitations on how we can observe it. Venus, on the other hand, Venus has a very thick atmosphere full of greenhouse gases. So if anybody tells you global warming is fake, tell that to the people that are trying to live on Venus, of which there aren't any. Like Venus has tons of carbon dioxide, but also like a bunch of like sulfur-based gases, like sulfuric acid. There's literally sulfuric acid rain on there. So not a good environment. If you try to send spacecraft to land on Venus, they're going to get corroded and like they're going to like corrode and um melt in a relatively short order after landing. So, yeah, a bit difficult to do that, but you can send orbiters to pretty easily orbit around the surface of Venus, like orbit around and observe the surface of Venus. This is Earth. Oh, also, by the way, if you go right next to these planets, you can hear a different song for each of them. Okay. This is Mars, and it remains to be seen what Elon Musk's ambitions are for Mars. Um, for a while, he was saying that he wanted to
That's
prioritize
amazing.
Mars exploration over like the moon or whatever. Then he started with his nonsense about AI data centers. So, like, in case it isn't obvious, I'm rather cynical about the SpaceX Starship program. But yes, this is a
So
thing.
I
Which
got a question regarding the gravitational force that those planets have. So, is it purely mass related? Like, is it purely dependent on the mass?
I
How
mean,
much
dependent.
gravitational force they have?
Dependent on the mass and the size of the planets.
Size,
Like,
so volume.
or I mean, how far away you are from the surface, in effect. Because
I
like,
don't know.
if you make the assumption that all of the mass of the planet is concentrated at the center, which is apparently something you're allowed to do for spherical objects, then it's like your distance from that point mass is the radius of the planet, and then the gravitational force is just gravitational constant times your mass times mass of that point mass times the distance to the point distance from your location to the point mass. So actually,
Yeah.
when you're orbiting a planet, like it's sort of misleading to say that you're in microgravity because the gravitational force is still acting on you. It's just that since you're in continuous free fall, you don't feel you don't really feel it. It's just doing a thing.
I
Whereas
think
when
we will get there soon. Like,
we will,
there's this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That
Okay.
okay, okay. Here are some big planets, and these have a lot of moons. I don't actually remember what the number is, but it's like more than 60.
Uh,
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny if
Also,
the exact number turned out to be a certain number in the 60s. Just saying.
which one? There were two possibilities.
I refuse
Okay.
to say either of them for the sake of maintaining some maturity. But
Good job. Good job. Very good. Okay, so fun fact about Jupiter. Apparently because of Jupiter's magnetic field, it traps a lot of energetic particles, radiation, that sort of stuff in around Jupiter. Earth has something called the Van Allen belts from energetic particles that are trapped by the magnetic field, but it's significantly worse over Jupiter. So that is something which will probably severely complicate any sort of operations involving sending humans to any like Jupiter or any of its moons.
mhm.
Also,
A
speaking of
part of
Van
it
Allen belts,
taking way too much time. A
yeah,
part of it probably taking a lot of time.
that's also a problem. That's probably the bigger problem for the foreseeable future. We just don't have the propulsion technology to get to faraway destinations in the solar system in any reasonable amount of time for humans.
Mm.
Yeah. By the way, don't detonate nuclear weapons in the atmosphere, like in the upper atmosphere, because then those will cause the Van Allen belts to pick up more energetic particles, and those will damage your satellites.
You.
Thank you. I promise I won't. Okay.
Very good. Okay. Okay. Saturn here. You'll notice that the rings have a rather complex structure, which is it's all labeled. It's all labeled on here. And actually, there are some moons that even orbit within the rings, and like just they seem. I hear that they're unusually smooth because they're basically getting sandblasted by collisions with ring particles all the time. Okay. Here,
Oh wait.
here are some planets. Here are some more planets. And actually, I'm pretty sure that these two planets are the same color, or at least that's what the imagery from James Webb has been indicating recently. But for a long time, the only super up-close imagery we got of Neptune came from Voyager 2. And that indicated that Neptune was a significantly darker color than Uranus, or
Nip
actually a
nip.
significantly darker color than even this. So, yeah, some James Webb data has recently indicated that these colors are actually fairly similar. But
Alright.
yes.
My friend arrived.
Okay, okay. So if you're wondering about life on the outer planets, it's like the most plausible scenario with that seems to be that it would be some sort of methane consuming life, which yes, because there isn't there isn't really any there isn't any liquid water out here, but there is liquid methane. And so if you assume that a biological system needs some sort of fluid to as a solvent for biological reactions and whatnot, it would probably be liquid methane. Some places like Titan, a moon of Saturn, uh, actually has just lakes of liquid methane, which, yay.
Oh. Wow.
Okay, who here knows about Kerbal Space Program? Do you know Kerbal Space Program? Very good, very good, very good.
Oh.
So here,
I think they'd also know.
okay.
The question
So
was
here-
asked whether or not you guys know about Kerbal Space Program, the game.
Ah. Uh-huh.
I actually played it.
Oh.
So then,
Oh.
as you can see, this is Kerbal technology, or something similar. You can actually maneuver the. Okay, I threw this too hard. It's always too hard to get it in a good starting trajectory. Okay, so
Wait.
now we just lower the. Oops. Oh, okay. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then if we got lucky,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Will
Ooh.
it encounter the moon? No, I need to make it higher. Oh, fuck, fuck. Okay.
Later.
So hopefully it'll encounter the moon soon enough. But yeah, so if you visualize the gravitational field as like this thing with the squares. Oh no. Actually, will it? Will
Wait,
it? Nope.
Almost.
Actually, this path might have been sort of altered. Huh. Okay.
It's stable at least.
It's stable enough, yes. It's stable enough that hopefully it'll encounter the moon before I'm done talking here. Oh, here is this the one? Is this the one?
Mhm.
Yeah. Flew past the moon.
Yay!
And now you'll
Oh
see that it's going around the Earth on a
Flyby.
different orbit, and it's
Ah. It
Wow.
changed
A
orbit.
stronger one.
yeah, it changed its orbit. Cool, right?
let's see one
Oh,
more
the
time.
next one might be a collision.
The next
Let's
one.
see, let's see, let's see, let's see.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's gonna be a
Okay.
collision.
Yeah. Nice, nice, nice.
Hell yeah.
So it's like this whole visualization. You can visualize the gravitational field as like a thing that you have to consume energy to climb out of, and so you have you start at the bottom of this gravity well. You have to go up, and that consumes your kinetic energy and converts it to gravitational potential energy, and then you can I guess you can sort of visualize orbits as just going around the circle. There were some other interesting
Maybe I'll go down from to God from to
things that
ultra
can
from
be used to
godlike.
demonstrate this with like
All right,
coins that I've seen.
you heard that? Yeah.
Yeah, if any of y'all want to play, let me just spawn this and put it in
Mhm.
an okayish place.
A more endurance setup.
Mhm.
Oops.
No.
It's always tricky. It's always tricky to do this on with desktop controls.
Mhm.
Oh
Oh
no!
yeah.
Oh no! Yeah.
Oh, it's blue.
Oh no.
Float. Blue.
Uh,
Bye, satellite.
Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back.
mhm.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Going on a really long trip.
Mhm.
Oh,
Boom.
Okay. Well, that's silly.
it was a safe.
Okay, that should be fine. Now, yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Okay, so if
Oh.
anyone wants to play around with that, go ahead. And also, you'll see
Mm.
another visualization up there of the orbits.
Yeah, I just noticed.
Yep. Okay. Over here.
Mhm. Mm.
Okay. So.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh.
It
Oh.
got pulled along.
Oh.
It
Oh.
followed the
It got
moon.
pulled.
Being
It
pulled
got
on by the moon.
pulled by
Wow.
the.
Interesting. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
And
We encountered Colloid.
collision.
Yay.
Very cool simulator.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's another world which shows
Mhm.
which has this sort of, oh dear, what happened? There's another world where you can like tune the parameters of
Oh.
the like planet and such a bit more. So yeah, also made by this person.
Mhm.
Ah, that's too
Mm.
fast.
Agreed.
Okay.
That's too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on to the next thing now. So this here is Juno. It's let's see. It's a spacecraft that NASA launched to Jupiter. It's orbiting there. I don't actually know what happened to it because the mission extensions lapsed during the last government shutdown a few months ago, and so I don't actually know I don't actually know how actively this is being monitored for anything at this point. I suppose I have to say something about the fact that Donald Trump has decided to throw the entirety of American science into a spin cycle because like big budget cuts and everything. He's trying again to cut NASA's budget by 25% since Congress wouldn't let him do it last year. So it sort of sucks, and this is the side effect. It's like cool science like this just gets thrown in the
And
gutter, I guess.
it's like less than 5% or something that
It's like
NASA takes in its entirety
NASA
anyway.
NASA is like less than 1% of U.S. government
Less than
spending at this
1%.
point. It's like it's less than 1%.
It's a minuscule amount.
Yeah, and
It's
and
so little
before
that they need for maintenance.
yeah, it's less than 1%, and then like that funds that not just all this and like dozens of other great science missions, but it also funds things like the Artemis program, the International Space Station, all sorts of things, and it's really a tiny portion of government spending, but I guess we
And
have
these are world
infinite money.
events.
We have infinite money to throw into funding useless wars, but we have no money for science. That is how the U.S.
That's where
government
they
is.
get.
Oh well. But yeah, Juno was meant to. Well, it flies around Jupiter, and if I'm not mistaken, it's in a pretty elliptical orbit that it isn't just constantly exposed to the high radiation environment like lower over Jupiter. But what it does,
Nice.
you'll notice that it has solar panels because solar panel technology has come far enough that it's viable to use solar panels to power spacecraft out at like Jupiter or Saturn. So a problem with powering spacecraft is that the amount of energy that you can produce with solar panels is proportional to 1 over the square of the distance from the sun. So I think at Jupiter you get like 5. In Jupiter or Saturn you get maybe like 5% of the amount of energy that you get from solar panels on Earth. So then, recently solar panel technology has advanced enough that this is feasible for powering spacecraft out there. But earlier spacecraft going out that far, they have let's see if it's here. If you'll come over here and look at this.
Radiation
Come over
isotope.
here. Come over here. So if you look directly above me, there's some like black bar structure with some fins on it, and that's a radiothermal generator.
Yes.
So how that works, there's basically a chunk of plutonium or some other radioisotope, which like it just passively generates heat from radioactive decay, and that gets used to generate electricity by connecting it to some thermocouple, and then the fins are for radiating heat off into space. So, yeah. Unfortunately, what that means is you have to launch a bunch of plutonium on your rocket, and if your rocket explodes, then there's gonna be plutonium that gets dumped in the ocean or dumped in wherever your rocket crashes. And so like American and European spacecraft tend to be very disinclined towards using radiothermal generators if it is at all possible to use solar panels. So like they're only like the American space program only really uses them on interplanetary spacecraft going far out to like the outer planets or beyond. The Russians, on the other hand, it seems they had a bit of an interesting love of putting they have an interesting love of putting nuclear reactors on everything, and so they decided that they would power. They decided that they would power like a weather satellite or something using a radiothermal generator, and then that satellite just one of them deorbited into Canada, and yeah.
And they have
So
them
there's-
everywhere as well, like lighthouses on the ground.
Yeah.
Which leads to scrap metal dealers opening them up to remove the scrap metal and sell the scrap metal, and then they find the radioactive isotope in there, and then they take it with them because it's warm and cozy. They don't need a campfire, right? And then they get skin burn and radiation sickness.
Yeah, well, it's like these radiothermal generators. They're very robust. They don't need much maintenance. I mean, they last
Forever.
They last for like 50 years. Actually, here, Voyager. Let me get this one.
Oh.
So this one, you can see here. Wait, actually, no. This which one? Where is? Okay, where's Voyager? Where is? Oh, here's Voyager. Change it. Okay. Should be global. So this is Voyager. It launched like it launched like almost 50 years ago, like 1977, and and they also have radiothermal generators. If you look on like that boom up there, and so this is still just out in space. It's like over 1 light day away from Earth, or it will be soon, and that's how far out it is, and it's still powered by a radiothermal generator. The amount of power that it generates has decreased over time, so now it can't run like all of the scientific instrumentation that it had on board, but it is still enough to keep the spacecraft entirely operable despite its very advanced age. So like NASA still actively communicates with them. They need like giant 70 meter wide antennas in order to communicate with these, and there are only 3 of those antennas in the world. So yes.
How long is it gonna stay
3,
powered?
not 1.
Well, there were. So NASA has 3 deep space network ground stations for communications with satellites and with spacecraft in deep space. And so each one of those has one of those 70-meter antennas. Voyager 2 got ejected far below the plane of the Earth's orbit, so there's only one antenna that can communicate with it. It's the antenna in Canberra, however you say it, in Australia. There are two others, one in Madrid in Spain and another in western United States and like Southern California. But yeah, so NASA has three antennas that that can still communicate with these spacecraft if they can see it. Okay, so then Voyager Voyager 1, it flew by Jupiter and Saturn, and it observed Saturn's moon Titan. Voyager 2, which actually launched before Voyager 1 for reasons, launched it flew by Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and it is the only spacecraft to have flown past Uranus and Neptune, if I'm not mistaken. If you look down there, that's what Voyager 2 saw when it observed Neptune. It's a significantly deeper color of blue, a much deeper shade of blue compared to what observations from James Webb have seen. Okay. First, what are some other good ones? I won't go through all of these, but it's here. Parker Solar Probe. This one flies really close to the sun, so it has like a special heat shield system to protect itself from the energy. And also, it's like lowering its orbit down to like fly close to the sun requires a lot of energy. And so instead of just having an active propulsion system to change its orbit, because that would require a horribly large amount of propellant, they just repeatedly fly past Venus, and that perturbs the orbit, and that lowers the perihelion towards what's desired. It's like if you saw how with that simulator earlier, flying past the moon changed the satellite's orbit a bit, that can actually be used to greatly reduce the amount of propellant that you need for your spacecraft. If you plan things
Silver Sword, you are absolutely lit.
Okay. Am I not absolutely lit?
Not as much because you're not like a super lightish, you're actually just faded.
Okay.
I guess it depends what word.
Yeah, like look, this is already so it happened.
Okay. Well, so this is Messenger, which is one of the only spacecraft to have ever orbited Mercury, if not the only. Actually, no, that's. Wait. Bepi Colombo. Has that one?
What?
Has that one captured an orb? No. Oh, okay. There's another spacecraft which was jointly developed by the European and Japanese space agencies, which is planned to capture into orbit around Mercury sometime this year. But it has also been doing a bunch of complicated maneuvering that would slowly change its orbit without the use of consuming propellants. But yeah, orbiting Mercury is hard. Venus Climate Orbiter, this thing. Hayabusa 2. Okay. Okay, last spacecraft we'll talk about here. This is Hayabusa 2, which is the successor to the very famous Hayabusa mission, which was the first to recover material from an asteroid and return it to Earth. And the original Hayabusa mission had a lot of different challenges, from systems failing or malfunctioning on the spacecraft, which by some miracle they were able to recover from. But this one went much more smoothly. A few things I'll point out on here. Well, these little things, they're not cookies. Don't eat them. Nom 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 nom.
And he eats them.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes. Yeah, these are space cookies. They're flavored. The gold color is space butter.
Yum 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 yum.
I'm trying to invent a new meme on Japanese space Twitter about how spacecraft are delicious and we should eat them.
I mean, it looks like it's buttered, ready to
I mean,
wrap.
yeah, yeah. So actually, all the golden color, for those of you who don't know, that's like insulation. Because in space, you don't need like or what's the best way to explain this? The most efficient way to inhibit heat transfer in or out of your satellite is just to have a bunch of thin layers of like metal or plastic or metal coated plastic foil or something spaced out with like very thin layers of that spaced out with very small gaps. So then if heat wants to transfer from one side to the other, it has to transfer by repeatedly being radiated from one layer to the next, so on and so forth, until it gets to the other side. That's a very slow process. When you're in space, you have no convection because there's no like air or other fluid that heat can transfer through. You have no conduction either if you just space those layers apart. So yeah, this is a very effective way to insulate your spacecraft, prevent heat from going in or out, because that's actually a pretty serious problem regulating the heat of your space, like the temperature in your spacecraft. And so yes, that's what that color is. And what are some other things? If you see these 5 balls here, those are targets that would be dropped from the spacecraft onto like to designate an area that the spacecraft would go and sample the surface of. And this horn here, this is the actual surface sampler. And I how it works, at least how it works in Hayabusa 1, I think it's the same on this one. There are like tantalum bullets that actually get shot out of here. This is literally a space gun. And then the objective is that it will kick up like material which will then float up through the sampler horn into the return capsule, which is this thing here, this golden dome thing, I think. Not to be confused with the other golden dome, which is an absurd vanity project. So that's how that works. And then if you look at the back end here, there are these 4 gritty things with more things on them, and these are the ion thrusters. They work by using an they ionize gas, in this case xenon, and then they use a strong electric field to accelerate the gas particles to extremely high velocities, often in the range of like 10 to 40 kilometers per second. For context, the exhaust in a typical combustion rocket engine only exits at about what is it? 3,000 to 4,500 meters per second. So this is much. It means you need much less propellant to get the same velocity change. However, these things are really these output really low thrust, so they need to be able to fire continuously for like years at a time in some cases. That is the extent to which they're tested. They just put them in they just throw them in a vacuum chamber and fire them for like literally years, several years. That's how they test these things. And then these space cookies, these are actually like little rovers that are deployed by this spacecraft. I think they move around by hopping. I think. So yeah, cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Welcome to Mars. Come to Mars. We're in VR. We can just walk to Mars. We don't need a 9-month trip on a SpaceX starship that might explode.
Now I'm thinking about Doom, Mars
Oh.
based, Mars City or something.
all your base are belong to us.
Okay, okay, Kimiko.
Okay. So here's an assortment of rovers. There are as you can see, this is an early American rover, as is this one, which is a later American rover. The first few American rovers on Mars use solar panels for power, and so the lifespan of these missions is more or less limited by how long it takes until enough dust accumulates on the solar panels to prevent them from generating enough power to generating enough power to run the rover. And so one of these, Opportunity, actually lasted a really bizarrely long time. Probably like I don't remember exactly, but over a decade. Actually, doesn't say on the sign it might. Yeah, it operated for 14 years. So, yes.
Which is insane, because these
Yeah,
had a lifespan of 30 days, I think.
90 days, I think, but
90 days?
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
This far outlasted its expected lifespan. Okay. This
Job
this little
opportunity.
this
And
little thing here.
the other two
Yeah.
actually did just do the 90 days, right?
Hmm? Uh,
The other two.
something. Yeah, the other two definitely didn't last anywhere near as long. This 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 one was a miracle. Actually,
Uh,
there was another rover identical to this that was launched around the same time, but Opportunity is the one that lasted 14 years.
what
This
about
one here is
Curiosity?
Curiosity's. I'll talk about that in a bit. But this one here, this one is a small Soviet rover thing that was meant to go on a Soviet Mars lander mission, and apparently was designed to move by walking with like some leg-based system. Unfortunately, it was not successfully deployed on either of the times that it was sent to Mars because of issues with the lander. But it's shown here. Okay.
No
This
joke about it being cute or eat it edible. I'm surprised.
what?
They're all very cute.
It
Okay.
looks like a brownie with a cupcake on top of it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
This one is literally just the like the propeller cap kid.
Ingenuity.
No, not integrity. Integrity is the Artemis 2 alarm thingy. But okay. So this one is Perseverance, and there was another rover very much like it launched about 10 years before called Curiosity. And these use radiothermal generators. All right, let me see if I can find where the RTG is. Oh, actually, yeah, the radiothermal generator is right here. This just black box. So
They
these
not
use
too big.
radiothermal generators. Yeah, they're pretty compact. These radiothermal generators, they don't have the same issues with solar panels getting covered in dust. So these have lasted a pretty long time. Curiosity has also been operating for like 14 years, and Perseverance is it's there. I guess the main differences between Perseverance and Curiosity are the just instrumentation that was launched on them. They use very similar systems for more or less everything else. Actually, okay. These here rovers, this one was just dropped onto Mars, and then the atmosphere on Mars, it's thin enough that you can't really use parachutes to slow something all the way down. So if you just use a parachute, your thing's going to hit the ground pretty hard. The terminal velocity will be rather high. The solution used for these earlier rovers was literally just put it in a box with some airbags and let it bounce around, and hopefully it'll land right side up. And then the rover can drive out once it's done rolling. This bigger rover apparently was too big for the airbag solution to work. So what they did, they actually had a thing called a sky crane, which would it had like rocket engines to slow down the descent after cutting the parachutes, and then after it cuts the parachutes, it or so after okay after the sky crane activates, it hovers, it lowers the rover down to the surface with like little cables, hence crane, and then it cuts the cables and flies away and crashes somewhere. It is much easier to build that in Kerbal Space Program than in reality. But yeah, that's a cool thing. And then, yes, Perseverance also carried this little helicopter thingy called Ingenuity, which was apparently a rather low-budget project that worked far better than expected. Like, most of the hardware on it was just commercial off-the-shelf stuff, but it did a pretty decent number of flights. I don't know the exact number. Does the sign say? Does it? No, it doesn't say.
No.
No, it
It
doesn't
does
say.
still
Okay.
work. It does still
What?
work. It's not stationary.
Oh,
It's still a weather station.
oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. One of
But
the
the props are destroyed.
yeah. After one of the flights, one of the rotors broke, and so it's no longer
Because
flyable.
it ended sideways. And it had
Oh.
pop strike.
Hmm. Okay. So this is another thing that was done. That's Perseverance is supposed to do is collect samples on Mars, which will be returned to Earth at some point eventually. When those will be returned to Earth, I have absolutely no idea because the politicians cannot decide where their priorities are with the Mars sample return program. Okay.
I mean, probably when we land, right?
Yeah, I mean, chances
I just think we're gonna
there's a
send people over to get him.
yeah, that's definitely possible. That's definitely possible. That it just won't happen until somebody does a crewed Mars mission. So yeah, any questions about anything before we go to the next room?
I had two small
No.
questions.
Yeah, go on. What are they?
So you said like Voyager had gonna have power for a while. I'm wondering if you know how long.
What is it? Sorry,
Like
say that again.
how long is Voyager gonna have enough power to operate, do you
Um,
if you know?
all the estimates have said that Voyager probably won't last that much more than 50 years. So like,
Oh, that's
it's
still
it
pretty long.
probably only has a few more years left in it, where it can do any amount of
I
useful
read
observation.
I read 2 days ago article and they say that maybe until 2036.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, maybe.
I guess if it
And like,
really holds
Mm.
on.
yeah,
Mm.
if NASA really wants to, they can probably upgrade their 70-meter antenna even more to get more life out of Voyager. And it's like
But
Voyager,
energy.
yeah, yeah, because at some point the bottleneck does sort of just become how
Yeah,
much
not being
power do you
able.
need for communications, and like, or like the signal fading because the transmitter is too far away. So like, you'll be able to
Mm.
get signals from it for longer if you have a bigger antenna, at the very least. Okay, everyone gather around for a group
Mm.
photo.
Yay.
Oh. Oh yeah, by the way, good
Mars
idea.
photo.
Yay.
Yeah, opportunity, our hero.
Group photos are
I'm on
very
my way
important
to
in Japanese
Mars.
VRChat culture, as you can imagine. I am very heavily influenced by Japanese
Riz, come here.
VRChat users in how I do these things. Get over here!
Ah.
That person is.
Installez-vous ici?
Oh,
Très bien.
wait. I'm too far. Wait.
Yeah, I gotta get in here. Perfect.
We.
Yay.
Mm.
Okay.
Very nice. My other
Yay.
question was,
Oh,
is it intentional that the space butter wrapping looks all crinkly?
I
Or
mean,
does it
that's sort of.
is it just a result of
I think that's sort of just an artifact of how the material is.
hmm.
They don't really care as long as it works. There's
Okay.
making it smooth is not worth the effort.
I guess it still works fine with a few wrinkles. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank
mm.
you.
But
Yeah.
all right, next room.
Anybody want to go get the people who just came?
I can do that. I can do that while everyone else files into here. Just hold them here, please.
Wow, look at this.
Cool. Maybe I should switch to VR for this. I'll be back.
Ooh. Yes. I remember it.
What's going on?
Oh,
The lines are moving.
You're alive?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Okay. So this is what the stores look like in three-dimensional space, taken from actual data,
Oh.
from actual
Mm.
actual science. So if you put
Actually.
your head here where the Earth is, you can see more or less what the constellations look like from Earth. If you go somewhere
Whoa.
else, then you can see what they might look like from other places.
I never thought about this.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
I
a
haven't.
very
Whoa.
yeah.
I've never actually thought about this. But yeah, of course.
These VSP people, they're really good at making very insightful visualizations of things.
Oh, hi.
They are amazing. They are
I mean, of
amazing.
course it would be like this.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, if you want to just put your head here and look around for a bit, you'll see something that should look vaguely familiar. But yeah, just
begin
go
right now, or
It's
through
already
here and wait there when you're done, so that I
six
know
area, so
when we
it's
can move on.
already not working
okay,
at
okay.
all.
I see.
No.
Okay. When you're done, go through here and wait on the other side, please.
Uh-huh.
This is actually so much better than going. It's actually kind of
Whoa.
better than going to a real observatory. Because see,
Oh, another room. I forgot about it.
Is that everyone? I hope. Okay. So here are some animations of what happens when a store is formed.
Oh,
Do not push these buttons.
oh, welcome back.
I
Oh, I remember it.
You also have the in Japanese, so like I can't read the names of the
I have to
stars.
be really
Oh,
careful when I'm
wait.
grounding the camera that I don't accidentally
There's
hit anything.
translation.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, I know. I just forgot to
Where
turn
is
it
it?
off.
Maybe I should back up.
Take tablet, and here in
Oh,
settings,
okay.
you can set language.
okay.
That's the
You found it?
next. Yeah, that's fine.
Ah, okay.
So you'll notice that there's a strange effect where smaller stores tend to last longer. Like those particularly small stores will probably last something like a few 100 billion years, if I'm remembering right, which I might not be. But like these like medium-sized stores will probably have a lifespan of like maybe five, like 5 to 10 billion years. Then the bigger ones are like they go kaput in about a billion years or less.
do they collapse or?
Yeah, we'll see that the next animation soon.
What is that old? brightest candle burns out quickest.
Oh. Look.
So yeah, when this happens to the sun, the Earth is it's probably not going to get consumed by the sun, but Mercury and Venus will be, and everything on Earth will be completely incinerated.
Hmm.
Yay.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it became nebula?
Yeah,
Oh.
with the like excess gas that's got ejected from. Yeah. Ow. Ow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Large sword. Go. Okay.
Okay.
Why does why do what's the purpose of ow
Oh,
Oh,
You're right, Daijobo.
Hmm?
flash
are you okay?
flashing effects? Yeah.
Um.
Warning flashing. Oh, okay, that's intentional, I guess.
Hmm.
Mm.
Change
wow.
Wow.
I don't see anything.
that. Oh.
Oh, you see, no? Blue already.
Mm.
Yellow.
What are we looking at?
Oh my.
Explosion.
Ah,
Wow.
I don't
Let
see.
me.
explosion.
Oh, only
Uh,
20 star left.
Nah, I
maybe.
don't see it.
Only 20 kilometers.
Okay, maybe you click it manually here.
I didn't click anything, and
Click.
so it should be
Wait. Okay.
global.
Click the one that says huge.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
now I see it.
Oh, all right.
Ah,
I
okay,
guess
distinct maybe.
That's weird. Now I can. Oh wow, now I see it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Right.
You know something about the usage of pound characters in the flash warning bothers me, so I'm just gonna go change that.
Mm.
Things that happen when I have
Maybe.
access to the natural
Whoa, so
translation
bright.
sheet.
Wow.
Oh, black hole.
Yes.
Huh? I
Okay.
don't see black. Or maybe.
Oh, it just said it in the text, but it's hard to
Oh.
see a black hole and see.
It's okay. It's
Ah,
okay. It's
I
okay.
don't know if it's
There's
even
another black
rendered.
hole over there that we can look at.
Yeah, we
let's
will
go.
see.
Okay. So here are some visualizations of things. This is the Crab Nebula, which was formed as a result of a supernova that was observed on Earth about 1,000 years ago. So
Oh.
ancient astronomers in several places observed this happening. And here's a neutron star. If you see the grid, like
Oh
what it's meant
wow.
to represent is that light from the backside actually gets distorted by the gravitational field, so it's visible from the front.
Huh.
And then you'll also see some
Mm.
magnetic field lines because a bunch of weird magnetic effects are happening. Yeah. Okay. Then see.
Mm.
What is supernova remnant? Yeah, another supernova remnant.
Remnant.
Here's the black hole.
Supernova.
Here's the black hole. You'll see that it actually distorts how you see like other like things, like avatars
Ah.
or
You got
all,
super wide.
yeah, or at least it
Mhm.
distorts avatars. It doesn't distort signs or other.
Oh, it's the same one from
Yeah, the text
Interstellar.
behind is still visible. But
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
some but not all of the text and objects get distorted, which is it's a bit
Oh
strange,
wow.
but oh well. So yeah,
Very
this is a
cool.
thing.
Mhm.
It's a thing. It's a nice hat. Yeah, nice
Why
hat.
is it red?
It does look kind of like a sun hat.
I guess that it's from like the accretion disk. There are a lot of particles flying around the black hole at very high speed, and I guess those collide with each other and emit heat. I don't know the details. But yeah, there's usually a lot of material orbiting at very high speed around the right around the black hole. Okay, and then here's the Milky Way galaxy. This is what it's we think it looks like.
You're here.
Yeah.
We don't know for
And-
sure how it looks like.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but that's what we think it looks like.
Hmm.
And now if we come here, so at some point in a few billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies are expected to collide, and so like the solar system, like here would not be appreciably affected insofar as like I don't know, stars are rather far apart. Nothing's going to collide with here in particular, probably, but. We have this animation that was actually pretty recently added, which shows what the process looks
I
like.
don't remember it.
And you can also like pick up the galaxies and move them around and change their speeds and see how that changes the collision behavior.
Oh. Will it cause any damage
they're
when
getting
that will
close.
happen?
Look.
I get.
It wouldn't cause any localized damage in the solar system, but like a lot of stars would get flung out in unpredictable ways.
Would we feel anything at all if we were there?
It's very unpredictable.
I don't think we would. Again,
We
like
would
this
just
is
look up
happening
and
over
be
the
like,
span of.
what?
I mean, this is happening over the span of like 500 million years. So, like, if you see here,
Okay,
so, like, we
it's
wouldn't
long.
see anything within one lifetime.
Wow,
They
they're all scattered
flew
out.
across all.
Yeah, so now
It
they've
looks
like,
so
humanity
messy.
still exists.
now like their centers have merged, but now you have these like very
Oh,
widely
they're slowly
Wow.
getting pulled in.
stars. Yeah.
And
They'll
what's
slowly-
happening with stars?
No, they're all just
Wow.
orbiting around and doing things, but
Wow.
yeah,
Doing things.
so that's things. Yeah, they're doing things. I don't know how else to describe it.
It looks like a swarm of
Sounds suspicious.
fireflies.
Yeah, it does. Okay, and then here are some photos.
And it will be forever?
I mean, nothing is forever. The second law of thermodynamics commands that nothing is forever, but like,
I mean, they not changing any behavior?
They're just kind of chaotic right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'll probably slowly converge to some sort of like spherical galaxy thing if I'm remembering like other times playing around with the simulation. But like, it is sort of just a spherical jumble of random stuff. Like the okay, simulation stops at 2 billion years.
Oh.
Okay. So here are some photos of galaxies colliding.
Only 2 billion?
Yeah, only 2 billion.
Only.
And here's the fun room. Sometimes I walk past it and pretend it doesn't exist and wait for somebody to ask me what it is. But yes.
Yeah, what's
So
this room?
So as you can imagine, since I'm on the credits for this world, obviously I have access to it and you don't. But unfortunately, the password seems to be written right here anyways. So
Yes, very secret password.
yeah. Although I believe this is local, so each of you will need to.
Oh, is it?
Each of you will
it's
need to
open.
come here and type in the passcode.
It's down there.
Okay.
You can
Ooh, we're going in.
already.
Yeah, you
Let's
can
go.
look through it right here. It's sort of funny sometimes.
Aliens!
secret.
Aliens!
No, we can't show
We'll
this.
have a look. In the secret room.
I've never actually tried to
yeah.
through the roof. So
They're just hanging out. It looks like an ordinary
That's
mug.
what hidden from us. Yeah.
Oh, you can grab
Oh,
it.
you can grab it.
Okay, so I mean, this room is like it's sort of just I put some funny stuff here for and then there's this side about an equation which supposedly can be used to predict the number of advanced civilizations in a given space, but like given that all of these
Based
quantities,
on what?
all of these quantities here, if you look at like this equation, all of these quantities are largely unknowable. So like, so like, it doesn't really tell you anything, other than giving people some framework with which they can couch their speculations.
I also think it's been updated since then anyway.
The Drake equation.
Yeah, it's been updated kind
Yeah,
of. It's outdated
I'd imagine people have come up with more refined models for these things, but they are ultimately all just models. So yeah, I mean, there isn't really much to see here. It's just sort of something that it's something in here, and it's funny for me to do the whole hi, I have badge access spiel. Again, for those of you who are wondering, this avatar is not for show. I was the head event organizer for English events at VCAT 2025 Winter for the group that made this world.
What are you doing, Alex?
What is it?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, nothing else to see here. Let's go.
You will forget everything you saw in that room.
To see here.
Yeah.
I believe we only have one more room left. I believe this is our last room.
Yep.
Somebody just come in. Perfect timing, I guess. Somebody's running down here, so let's wait for them.
There we go.
Hello there. Hello.
People.
Ohio gozaimasu.
No.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, I am the tour guide.
Kimika is doing the tour.
With a uniform.
Okay, please join us.
Yeah.
We're about to go into room 7 now. By the way, I'm on the credits for this museum, so I hope that I am at least slightly competent to give tours.
Oh, yeah, very professional so far.
Good. I'm also obligated to tell you that this VCAT-chan avatar is not just for show. I was the head event organizer for English events at VCAT 2025 Winter for the community that made this world.
So he earned it.
Yay. I have earned the right to wear this avatar. Unlike I don't know. I don't think there's anybody using this avatar that hasn't earned the right to it. But yeah, this world is amazing. I love sharing it with other people. So follow me.
Let's go.
Astrophysics.
If something, Kimika, I can help here.
Yes.
If you need any extra words.
So you see, there's this terrain up here, and underneath they just dug a tunnel and put put a particle accelerator in here. They have just protons going around and around and around and around and around and around. Just wait, I need to make my avatar even smaller. Okay. So they have protons going around and
They
going
make the
around
time
and
machine.
Yeah,
That is the cutest proton I've ever seen.
Okay.
Wow, you're
And then
so
they crash
small.
the protons. Okay. And then they crash the protons into other protons at like nearly the speed of light. And then other particles come out and they detect those particles in various detectors that are installed around the particle accelerator, and science happens. Yes. I am sure that you can tell them more than I can about this.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Go ahead. Don't go too far into the
So,
details, but go ahead.
so they are doing their best to make protons as fast as light. Right now, they run at 99.9997% of the light, and they collide on 4 places actually. They collide in those places where the detectors are placed. We have Atlas, Alice, LHCb, and CMS. Those are abbreviations. And by colliding, they simulate the events of the Big Bang. And while doing so, they are discovering new particles. So before the Large Hadron Collider, we only had, let's say, theories, but now we have proof of those elemental particles' existence, which are mainly quarks, leptons, and bosons. Some of those particles are, let's say, 100 times more heavier than the others. And one of them you might know, which is electron. And we cannot catch any of those because they are unstable. So we make calculations of angles that electrons and muons are there. And based on that, we make assumptions that perhaps those are traces of bigger particle, namely boson. Also, there is this thing that they have their antiparticles, which are the same ones but with a bigger charge, with a reverse charge, and also superposition, and then other theories, antimatter, dark matter, but we'll go there. Right now, we have 12 and now 13 elemental particles that we are proudly sure that they actually exist.
Science. Yay. And now there's an
Thank
elevator
you.
here. So, if there's
Mhm.
unless
Thank
there's something else
you.
you'd like to say, let's go through the elevator.
Well, there will be even
Yes.
more interesting
Okay.
stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Point out this
Here
bicycle.
we are.
I should point
Wow.
out this bicycle that's here. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Apparently,
Oh,
with how
that's
big
cool,
these
actually.
particle accelerators are, people often use bicycles to go around. There's a world with a very
Really?
detailed model of a like particle accelerator
Is
in
it
Japan, and
possible?
you just have a bicycle that you can actually ride to go around there.
The exact number being
Wow.
37 kilometers of length, circumference. And they are
Whoa.
planning to build another one called Future Collider, which will be 100 kilometers.
Oh
Oh, really?
my.
Ooh, that's
Do
pretty
you know,
big.
like,
Yeah,
what's the
100.
location?
Yes, location is Geneva. They are
Oh, okay, so...
currently they're currently digging. When I was there, they were
Oh, okay.
currently in the
Oh.
digging, digging big tunnels. Yeah.
What do you have to see? Did he
Mhm.
join?
But yeah, so just joined.
Yeah, I told him to.
Maybe you or who? Can you help Furious find that?
Whoa.
Ooh.
No
Big,
way.
big machine.
This is what hardcore science looks like.
I will send him a
Okay.
message.
Yeah.
Wow.
Y'all can walk over here if you want a
Just
closer look.
Yeah,
use
yeah, and we'll
tablet
explain what
Can you do
those
that?
things are they're doing.
and okay, maybe I can just go to him.
Remember, do not put your head here. Do not put your head.
Hold up, not everyone is here.
Be careful, Kimika. Be careful.
I have a horde hat, so it's okay, but you shouldn't
Oh,
do
okay.
that.
Yeah, that's right.
You better quit while you're ahead.
Speaking of that, Kimika, funny joke.
Hello, Cyber.
Hi.
When I was
Hello.
showing
Hello,
what I
Party.
made it so
Hello,
in
Silver,
time.
Hello.
walking around,
Hello,
it
Lumpy.
was one of
We
the
still
first
have a
things
lot of
they
sleep.
said, like, why are avatars
I'm not sure
moving
on
without
how
the
late I am,
proper-
but yeah, I didn't know that
We
I
still
had
have a lot
to
of
the.
sleep.
Oh,
Ah,
Like,
okay.
maybe
It's
it's
7
like 3
rooms,
hours.
so
we need to
I
get
mean,
some hats.
if they want to, yeah, we can add them. Oh,
I have.
Oh.
I
How-
have this.
how
I have
could
this
you?
too.
You could
Are
have
we
eye
on sub?
protection too.
I like
Oh, I
it.
didn't know.
There you go.
Oh no!
Oh no.
That's actually that would make a pretty good photo. Actually, look at that.
No.
Yeah,
The show is
it
getting
would.
collided.
Yeah.
But what is this exactly?
Yeah, go ahead and explain.
Okay, so I might as well introduce myself. I am just as you see this guy having a badge of virtual space program here. I have exactly the same one, but it's for CERN, the company that built this thing. So
Oh, wow.
I have also I have a separate map that we can visit if there will be a desire. But this is the detector. This is where the collision happens. This is exactly where the collision of hadrons is happening. 40 million collisions per second, and
Wow.
15 petabytes of data generated by those collisions. Every single cube that you see here, well, those things, is a collision and is a particle. Now, which particle is it? Well, we have three layers. Thus, we can catch three types of particles. Everything that is green is an electron. Now, it might be electron or anti-electron. It's the one that has a different charge. We also call it positron. Yellow ones that are being caught on this layer are hadrons, which are protons. Those are not elemental particles. Hadrons have things inside of them, like quarks. And anything that is being caught on third layer, which is the blue layer, it also expands all the way to here. Those are muons.
Ooh.
Muons are also parts of leptons, like electrons but bigger. And the way this detector catches them is by sucking out or absorbing the radiation from them, namely energy. And as we know, the energy formula is E equals mc squared. And well, since c squared is a constant, we can remove it. So we are left with m equals E, which means mass equals energy. So the energy, this is extension of the energy, basically. This is when they stopped. We can measure the energy that we needed to absorb all the way from that place. And based on that energy, we can deduct and say that this is the amount of energy that this particle produced or had. Thus, this is the mass of that specific particle. That's how we get the exact mass of electron, which is 1.710 to the 9th, negative wise. Yeah, this is where we catch particles. 100 meters underground. Very high amount of radiation. People that's definitely not allowed. This would never be allowed how we are setting.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't worry, it's VR chat. We won't feel a thing. But tish.
Exactly. Yep.
So yeah, thank you for the explanation.
We can move on. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
No, we cannot move on. Time for group photo.
Wait, no! Come back! Come back! No! Group photo.
Stick their head into the center.
All right.
Hold on, sorry. Let me just okay.
Go photo.
I mean, we're close to
we
we're
have
close
a
to the end.
spot.
We'll be done in about 15 to 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Or
Go
to make
on.
sure no one's being covered by the
Yeah, I
Wait
messed
for
up. Hold on, hold on.
adding myself.
There. Wait.
I'll put myself smaller, just to. Oh,
I'm
hey,
lagging.
Okay.
come up.
I'm inside the collider.
That's dangerous.
Also, Termina, I wanted to ask, like, are you taking pictures or are you also taking a video?
I'm actually live streaming this right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Your words are now immortalized, and I'm gonna export to my YouTube. All that. Now everybody's gonna know your name.
I probably should have given everyone a disclaimer
Thanks
about
for
that.
early warning now.
Gonna be famous.
You're right.
Alright then, next room.
Mm-hmm.
See moving.
Where is
Yay.
next one?
That.
I should actually take
Yeah.
gallery picture.
Wait for everyone. Wait for everyone.
Yeah. How many more people are we waiting on?
Is he coming?
2
Is
people.
there anyone behind you?
Is they coming?
I can go call them. Wait.
Seems they coming.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
So. Okay, is that everyone?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
thanks. So, this here is a big neutrino detector, and so it's like you have a tank full of ultra pure water, and around the tank you have these photomultiplier tubes, which like neutrinos are like they're very hard to detect. They don't interact much with ordinary matter, so these things like they amplify signals from any of those interactions to levels that can be detected by other means. And so there's a ton of those lining this tank. And a funny thing happened once where one of these imploded, and the like pressure wave that propagated through the ultra pure water caused all the surrounding photomultiplier tubes to implode in a chain reaction. So that must have been an interesting experience for whoever had to deal with the paperwork afterwards. So
Thank you.
yeah, and then
Also, it looks like an earphone.
I suppose, or a light bulb, yes. But another interesting thing in this particular museum is that you can click this, and it displays actual data that updates every day.
Oh.
You can walk inside here. Come and look.
Cool.
Ooh. Ooh, very nice. I like the
Nice.
colors.
Party?
Yeah.
That's a cool party area.
I mean, you could throw a party in here, but then
Yeah.
I mean, hypothetically, yeah.
Does this world have a video player?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, it kind of misses the point.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to do much science with it while you have, yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't fit. Yep.
Okay, well, fine.
I guess that's the exit. Okay.
Yeah,
Whoa.
you just walk out where you came in. This wall is fake. All of these photo multiplier tubes here are fake. That's just how it works. Okay. Then the next thing in here.
No.
Gravitational wave detectors. Unfortunately, you can't actually climb these stairs.
Sadness.
Yeah.
Foiled again.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh yeah, I cannot.
Ah, there's no collider for me otherwise.
Okay. Come here, come here. There's a nice animation here.
Oh, it's the bicycle.
Staring at me
A
ominously.
fixed gear.
Whoa! So you see that, like, when black holes collide, they generate these gravitational waves that propagate through space. And those actually cause distortions in... And so this detection technique, it depends on measuring, like, changes in length of the, like, arms of the interferometer, which is being used to detect the gravitational waves. And those actually non-trivially change in length when this happens. Of course, in reality, the signals are much more minute, and so you need some insanely precise equipment to get useful detections. But yeah, that's the operating principle for this stuff. And I'd imagine you might have more to say than I do about this as well.
Well, I'm not gonna add much. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that when you have those two things are interactable, and you can put them next to the simulation, and you will see how reality distorts them. And they're not distorted like literally, but that's how you get to see them. So you can put them even like closer, and this is how they are being distorted.
Wait, this is kind of serious stuff. I mean, if I could ask, like, so it is reality itself that is being distorted, as in space-time, which
Yes.
would imply that we are being distorted, and we have a black hole on the Milky Way. Like, any chance
The
that
center of it.
that such a black hole could be distorting our space-time in some way, or I don't know. I mean, or that could be another black hole that we don't, like, that we could have something similar to this distorting things happening here without us noticing, or something like that. I mean, or is it just
Not with
theory or crazy theory? I mean,
Okay, well, the distortion is happening all the time, but you see that the closer you are, the more you feel it. And
okay.
we are so far away that it's more or less negligible, but we are currently on our way, the entire sun system, towards this black hole. It's just there's a little bit of space to cover, couple of millions of light years, and we won't be reaching it soon. But yeah, that will be our if the Earth doesn't explode. That will be the last thing humanity will ever see before being incinerated or sucked inside of it, you know.
Sounds like a way to
So
go.
even if we survive, so even if we survive the sun going extinct or something like that,
Also,
we still
Highline,
have
welcome
the
to
black
stream.
hole matter to solve. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So remember the experiment where we were launching the thing into the orbit? Yeah, the entire Milky Way is one big orbit that has a black hole in the center of it, which is pulling everyone towards it. Yeah.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
space is also
Well,
expanding,
that's what galaxy is, though.
so are we
That's
not
how it's
also
formed.
getting away at this?
Yeah. So, but
Well,
so kind of, so like, so from what I understood, we are way too far away for the black hole to have like a real space-time impact on us, like we can see here on the daily life.
like what the stuff that these detectors are detecting, it's like one like they're on the order of like one wavelength of light, and they're detecting those distortions over like detector arms that are several kilometers long. So it's like it's a very small thing.
Okay.
Yes, if a black hole came close enough, it could eat the sun and everything else along with it.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
goes the next room, I guess.
a laser shining over 3 kilometers that wiggles just a little bit. Oh.
Okay. Here's another thing that you can put your head inside and look around in. This is once
Oh,
again
it's
actual
universe.
data, actual cosmic
Oh.
microwave background data. And so, yeah.
Wow.
Then
We are inside the universe.
Yes.
I mean, we are always inside the universe, but yes.
Yes.
We're inside it twice in some sense.
And then here's a model showing the distribution of dark matter throughout the universe, which, because apparently there's a lot of mass that just can't be observed by conventional means. Like it can't be detected from like electromagnetic emissions. It's only detectable from its gravitational influence on things that can be detected by electromagnetic emissions. So
Okay. So yeah, so like on dark matter stuff, like to define if something is dark matter or not. Okay, thanks for the camera. But what would be the criteria? As in, like, because I have heard a lot being said about dark matter. Some say that it doesn't even actually have like atoms at all. I don't know if that is the case. I mean, it seems a bit of a yeah.
dark matter is just a placeholder name for a physical phenomenon that we don't really have the means to understand at present. Like, we know there is mass somewhere, or at least that's what the data suggests, but we don't know what that mass is at all, really. We just know that something is there.
Oh, I see, I
If
see, I
I
see.
may add,
Yeah.
like that's where this entire multiverse theory came from. So like there is a gravitational force, you don't know where it is, and people started to think like maybe there is some kind of parallel universe, and it's that parallel universe's mass that we are detecting. That's it. That's all the information we have. Like, and that's also
Oh.
a theory, just no proof. It's just the mass that we see that is extra, which are not, which shouldn't be there by the conversion traditional ways. But yeah, just we don't
Yeah.
know. There is some kind of excess mass.
Oh, so there is no actual guarantee if it actually has no atoms or like has atoms. Like it could be anything plus something that we still do not know. Yeah.
It
Okay.
could be
Okay.
anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scientifically,
Yeah.
I cannot. I can only say that we have no idea. As if we go to the
Okay.
speculation side, there are a lot of interesting theories, but we can leave that to the other time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, so here's a map of the structure of a decent portion of the universe. The like horizontal plane here is there isn't really much showing because the Milky Way galaxy blocks views in this plane, but you can see how the mass in the universe seems to arrange itself. You may notice if you look carefully that things seem to sort of have a tendency towards clustering together, which is an artifact of just gravitational attractions between those things. But yeah, if you didn't read the sign, you might think that there's just some random snow in here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Those are all
Maybe just
galaxies.
a flower.
Where is the Milky Way?
The tiny specks are all
Oh.
galaxies.
You're good.
Look at that.
Kelgusser, but Cosmos.
That was a pain in the ass.
Come.
Wait. What?
Okay. I don't know what that was.
Oh, it's just like it is.
Oh, where is the
The last
Milky Way?
item-
Good question.
Here's the last item in this exhibition room. It is a poster with a lot of things on it. There is an English version.
I like that picture.
There is an English version.
Exists?
There is an English version of this. Somebody needs to remind me to ask them about putting the English version in here with the English translation. Because that would be pretty helpful. But yeah,
And I think that is it. That's the ending room. This tour's just about done. Hope we all learned something from this.
It's something made by some Japanese government agency. But yes, that is
a lot of information.
It is a lot of information. It's like a 40 megabyte PDF, I think.
Oh.
Okay. PDFs are stupid, so my computer doesn't like it very much. Okay, well.
Photo?
Right here?
There's an ending room out there. You sure you don't want to do that one?
I mean, it's probably better to do it outside.
Hello, Sawaya.
Sure.
We're going outside. Hooray. Ooh.
Okay, so as you can see, there is grass. There's grass.
My prayers have been answered.
We can finally touch grass while playing VR chat.
Well, that is the April Fool's joke officially by VR chat. Touch grass.
I liked the skipping leg day toggle. Good.
Okay, everyone stand around me. If
Okay.
Height. Still more. Well, I guess that's it.
No.
I think that was the most quiet group picture I ever took. Everyone was so nice and quiet.
People know to be scared of me when it comes to talking out of turn.
Yeah, right.
I guess when you're at the end of the tour, you've learned by then.
So that thing up there, that is a real-time display of where some satellites are for the people who haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
The people the person who made that is a big nerd in the best way possible. Big nerd. His name is Akino Mizuki. He's on my friends list, by the way. Okay.
Nerd.
So then
lovingly.
Now we'll go to see the most important room in the museum, which is the gift shop. You know why it's the most important room?
Yeah, because it has your name on it.
Credits?
Yep.
Oh.
Of course.
Okay, where is
version.
Cookies?
Or not.
No collider flight. Yes, this
Huh?
thing.
Cookies? Cookie.
Right here.
Oh, that's cool.
Mug!
I see, yeah.
Yep. I exhaustively fixed
Can we
the
eat them?
all the issues with the original English translation of this museum a few months ago. I'm working through some other less
Also,
important fixes
question to
now.
you
but-
specifically.
Yeah.
What's behind your nickname?
It's
What's the story behind it?
Behind which Kimika or the other
yeah.
one?
Yeah,
I bought
Green
some.
one.
Buy it for me.
Oh,
I like
wait, is
F-16
that something you can
fighter
actually
jets.
buy?
I don't know.
No, you can't buy those.
Cause,
Also,
okay.
I'm trying to.
Do you
Wait,
eat this?
okay.
Because I do know that there's actually
There.
Okay,
There's
so
some worlds
now.
I like
F-16.
F-16 fighter
Yes.
jets. I
Yeah.
also
So,
like Kerbal Space
there are
Program.
worlds now
Block 60 was new production at the
that
time
I've
when I
been to
chose this name.
that have markets in
So,
them where you can actually purchase items
yes.
and ship them to your house from inside of you.
I see. Well, simple as that.
All right.
It is simple, and it's also not just random key smashing.
No,
But yeah,
doesn't give
so
off that impression.
This here, this is the board. This is the credits board for people who supported this project through the whole like initial 2-year development efforts. And like, yes, I have seen.
Years.
Yeah, it took like 2 years to build this thing. I saw
Are you buying this?
in the special exhibition room. There used to be something showing the development process and various milestones in that. And yeah, 2 years took a long time. Unfortunately, I wasn't around when that happened, but at least I got in early enough to be the one who fixed the English translations. I take very, very, very great pride in that work, in case that wasn't obvious. So, yes.
So it's complete now, and like nothing's gonna be added here or removed,
Well, things get
except the English
added and
translation.
removed. Things
The
get
special
added
exhibition room?
occasionally. Like recently, they changed some of the. They added a new model for a Japanese moonlander, which more accurately represented its configuration as it was actually landed on the moon. It also added
Artemis 2?
No, I don't know if they'll. There's an S-Loss model. There's nothing Artemis 2 specific that was added here. Again, it's like it's one of those things I can ask about, but I don't know if anything will happen with it. They also added.
Turn on microphone already.
There's also a special exhibition room directly connected to the main lobby, and that gets changed every once in a while. So about 6 months ago, they put in a new exhibit for planetarium projectors. I don't know. There's no English translation for that. I don't know if I should plan to try making an English translation for that because I'm not that much of an expert in planetarium projector stuff, and I also I don't know how long it's going to be before they take it out and replace it with something else. Yeah, I guess that's everything I had planned. Thanks for joining me. For those of you who aren't in the group, I should tell you that this.
Thank you.
One moment, please. Drop pedestal until I leave instance public. This group. This group is the group that I've created for.
It doesn't show up on stream camera.
These events for mainly English audiences. I am very well connected with the Japanese VR space community as well, so where feasible, I will try my best to provide for them too. But yeah, I guess this is mainly something that's going to be aimed at English speakers. If you wanna see more English events like this, join that group. Also, please support VSP or Virtual Space Program, the Japanese community that made this world. I am very proud of the work that I've been able to do to share their work with other people, especially English speaking.
VSP pedestal put down as well, but again, that doesn't show on the streamer cam.
Most of their events are.
I'm in both groups, by the way.
And if you can't speak Japanese, it might be a bit difficult to follow along. But if you happen to be at a Japanese VSP event and I am there, I will do my best to help you with processing things.
This was really cool.
I'm glad you liked it.
What
Okay.
about
Thank you,
what about
Kimika.
visiting planetarium on here?
I don't know. I never figured out how to do anything interesting with the planetarium controls.
Oh, we can figure out.
Planetariums confuse me.
It's fun. No?
There's no rocket propellant involved. It's
VSP really loves its planetariums.
Oh,
so
wow.
Lol, there you go. It's the bathrooms if you need them.
Okay.
Do you know how those work?
No, because the last one didn't work on Artemis 2.
Oh. Son, there's like, you put a thing.
It's most important to
Yeah,
remember.
I guess so. Yeah.
By the way,
QR scan.
And then you take this. You take this on here, and then
Wow,
so the hard
I
stuff
love
goes
the
in there, and
demonstration.
Of course, the toilet's the most popular attraction.
Of course it is. Okay.
But the hard stuff.
Look at this. Look, there's a line.
Interesting.
I feel like Japanese.
No, man.
I feel like Japanese VR chat users tend to have a higher sense of decorum than English VR chat users, but they have a sense of humor as far as this goes too.
Oh, I
Mhm.
see.
Yeah, that'd be funny. I wish you could turn it on.
Okay, one other thing I'd
Just hear
like
the
to
noise
share.
it makes.
So there's this here English. Okay, come here. So there's this here English promotional poster that was added in January. You can probably guess who wrote the text on it.
I wonder what kind of feeling that
It couldn't have been Kimika. There's no way.
Yeah, it's like I think this says everything you need to know. VSP is like
Probably not
it's
what
a
you
mainly Japanese community, but
What's up?
they will.
Probably not what you
Excuse me. They will do what they can to accommodate English speakers where possible. And also, there's a feedback form. Wait, was there ever a translation made for this? I need to check.
Oh.
Was there control?
There's sound credits up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can get an English translation of this feedback form made. There's still some stuff I need to do. There's also this here
What is
award.
this thing?
Metaverse School of Engineering. Like this world is a very renowned creation in the Japanese VR community. So like,
come on, you know.
yes. Apparently, this was the influence that led to a lot of other people doing their own like VR medium projects. Let's go up to the lobby.
All right, sound credits.
Come out. This one.
More credits.
Wow.
There we go.
How much time has passed?
About 2 hours.
Oh.
That's what this one says?
Yep. Yeah, so as you all can see...
Oh yeah, that's...
There were like 3 pins knocked over when I got here, but we started this tour. And now there are more pins knocked over. So how this works, and I don't know...
Holy shit, that's a good Karen. Like, just from the imposter alone.
And the plane of the pendulum's movement relative to the base is changing because of the rotation of the Earth. And so, slowly it shifts over and it hits more pins and knocks more pins over.
Oh. Just knocked one.
Oh, did it?
Like watching the pendulum.
Well, it is real time or it is accurate in terms of what you would see if you put one of these in Tokyo. Yes.
That's amazing. Wow.
So that's a wrap on this tour. Thanks for joining me. We should take a photo in front of this here thingy too.
So yeah, Kimika, you were worried nobody was going to show up to this, right? Huh? Yeah?
Most people would have showed up yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday I couldn't.
Yesterday
Today I only knew a while ago.
Oh well,
also did not know as modern as it was you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I,
Yeah. It was
I
you.
did. I did make some
Also,
rather
after this, I have a
substantial
couple of
blunders.
questions regarding your VR. You'll
Okay.
be fine with it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
just
everyone
yeah,
gather here
yeah,
for a picture,
thank you.
please. Picture, please.
Let's
Picture?
finish this one
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
El Pictoro.
Another
Here.
picture.
I definitely made some mistakes with how I tried to promote these events because, like, I didn't want this to overshadow the Friday's Artemis 2
Wait.
events.
I mean, you know
Yeah.
the guy called Maverick. He's
The
pretty
main?
good at making events more popular, even though he is,
He's cool.
you know, he is kind of special.
This is
and
not
a bit much
intentional me
sometimes.
being in front like this. I'm just
Yeah, he was
being
an interesting
lazy.
character when he was here yesterday.
I do not mean to try to
But,
steal the photo.
Why is he
Oh, he
all
was.
connected with some like promotional something?
Yeah, you could say that.
What does that mean?
A lot of the rave community
Oh, I see.
knows this dude, but
He was
I think
talking about being involved
a
in
lot
the
of people,
music
some
stuff.
people would be interested in it
I see.
from that space.
I hope that they'll be able to behave. I am.
There should
Oh,
be, yeah, there should be.
Yeah.
Most of those people are actually kind of normal.
Yeah, I mean. People,
Thank you.
Define normal.
People. I tend to
Normal
force
in
people to
American
notice pretty
standards
quickly,
or in Japanese
but like,
standards?
I mean, American standards, I would assume.
Hey, Termina, come here too.
Huh? Nani? I thought we were okay.
I'm done taking photos, but
Hold on. All right.
wait until everyone else is done. Or actually, is anyone else
Yeah,
taking photos?
already.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
So I did have another thing I wanted to talk about. If you know have some more input about it, in the special exhibition room, there's this simulator thing about Earth and Mars, and you can really tell how like there's 10 years, and then there's 3 years where you have two chances to actually have the shortest amount of travel time to Mars.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd like to look at it again, and if you have some input about it, I would love to hear it.
Well, there is somewhere that I need to be in like 10 minutes, but
okay.
Yeah, no, you're going.
And also, it's like
Thank you for this.
I don't think there's anything I'd be able to say that you wouldn't be able to figure out on your own because, like, the planetarium projector is not something I'm very familiar with.
Alright.
My main area of, like, VSP has a few different areas of interest or specialization. Mine is mainly orbital rocketry. There are other people who do, like, astronomy or, like, more satellite-oriented stuff.
Particle physics.
Yeah. Particle physics.
I guess I'll leave it running for 10 more minutes. Just want to say I really enjoyed this thing, and yeah. We had way more people show up for this one than yesterday.
I'm glad that
Especially stick around to the end.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I wrote my friend. He actually made some event for one community to explore Cosmoria and discuss. Oh, but I don't remember exactly what. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I just invited him, and he also wanted to know about something about VSP community.
I see.
Like I already don't remember what exactly.
So you say he wants to. So you say he wants to host an event in this place. He wants to host an event here. Okay.
He already hosted. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, he already did. Okay. Yeah. You have my like Twitter, yes. And Twitter, Discord. Okay, just feel free to drag me into whatever that person might be interested in doing. I would if he happens to be interested in doing another tour of Cosmoria or any of the other VSP worlds, don't hesitate to invite me. I would love to be the tour guide.
I will definitely drag some more of my friends here.
I hope to find a tour where I can join right at the beginning. I mean, yeah. full tour.
And thank you very much. It was very engaging and entertaining.
Yay. Well, this won't
Also,
be the
like-
last time I do one of these tours. So, but the next time will probably be in a few months.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when the
Let us
like
know
the total
beforehand.
yeah. I will try to
is
let
it?
people. I will try to make sure people know at least 2 weeks in advance. And I will also
Yeah.
try to make sure it doesn't get drowned out by another event. So, yeah. All right.
Oh.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
So I
Bye bye, Kimika. Arigatou
Bye.
gozaimasu. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for coming. It was great meeting you all or seeing you all again, and maybe we meet
I think,
again sometime.
I have an IRL Japanese friend that he worked at JAXA. Last time I talked to him, but I haven't talked to him in a long while. Maybe this could be a good excuse to reach to him and basically ask him.
And as for you who have viewed this on the YouTube or even live here on the Twitch, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time for whatever I do next, whether it be VR chat or some other game.
Sure, let's go.
After all,
Sure, let's go.
the main
Sure,
person
we
that
can
I
just
only
go
with on
outside,
English
yeah.
based tours is the NASA
Nah, let's go.
engineer, so